So story number 3, I was at a civic function in a southern U.S. city. I don't like those kind of events. I was dragged into it for some reason I can barely recall now. The MC said, introduce yourself around the table, start eating, the program will follow. And no one around my table knew any of us, I didn't think anyway. I didn't know anybody. So I'm listening to the names as we go around the table and what people do for a living. The guy across from me, African-American guy, tall guy, and strong, and when he says his name, it's a decidedly Muslim name. I just thought, interesting. So came around, I said who I was, and then we started eating. Partway through the meal, that gentleman, the Muslim gentleman, made eye contact with me and said, can we talk after lunch? And I seriously, I looked behind me like, who is he talking to? He's like, yeah, you, like that. And I'm like, okay. So after lunch, he goes, hey, this only take a couple minutes. He said, I know who you are. You've had an unbelievable impact on my life. I go, really? Is that right? I'm still thinking he has me confused with Rick, probably. And so he said, I'll make this very brief. I know you got to run. He said, I grew up in an evangelical church. My family, it was a diverse congregation. New leadership came in, and the diversity went away in our church. The signal was sent loud and clear. There's a certain kind of person who's welcomed and matters here, and there's another kind of person who isn't. And he goes, my dad left, and my mom left, and my siblings left, and finally I left the church, I left God, I was done. He said, when I went off to college, the only people on campus who accepted me were the Muslims. So I became one. And I kind of got caught up into it, and then I married a Muslim woman, and then we raised our kids in Islam, and he goes, now think about it for a second. I'm an African-American person in a southern U.S. city and a Muslim, and I'm in a profession where you have to go to a lot of cocktail parties. And he said, that gets a little awkward, if you can understand my drift. I go, ooh, I can see how that'd be a little awkward. And he said, so one night, passed out the business cards at a cocktail party. There's a group of white guys standing around having a conversation with the others. Pretty clear that that was their conversation. I'm over by the drinks table by myself and just figuring out when I can make my exit. And he goes, one of the guys in that conversation group looks over, sees me standing alone at the drinks table, like really notices me standing over there alone. Extracts himself courteously from his comfortable group of conversation with people like him, and he turns and he walks all the way across the room. I can see him coming, this guy says. He's making the walk. He walks all the way across the room, sticks his hand out and goes, hi, my name is so-and-so, introduces himself. He said he was the nicest guy. We talked about sports, industry, politics, all that. It was fantastic. He said in part of the conversation, I revealed that I was a Muslim, and he revealed that he was a Christian, and at the end, he said, hey, why don't we get together for breakfast or something? And the Muslim guy said, hey, if I'm a project, we don't need to do this. And the Christian guy goes, no, I don't know anything about Islam. Never really met a Muslim. I would really like to have some lunches or breakfasts, and then you tell me everything you know and what you believe, because I just don't know anything about it. I goes, all right. So they start meeting, and over 5 or 6 weeks, the Muslim guy tells him every single thing he knows about Islam, and the Christian guy's just taking notes and going, fascinating. I never knew. That's fascinating. They had built quite a friendship by then, and when the Muslim guy was out of information, he says very humbly to the Christian guy, he said, why don't, for the next couple of weeks, this is my suggestion, why don't you remind me of what biblical Christianity is all about? It's been a long time. Christian guy goes, well, I'm willing. The guy said, well, let's do it. So for the next several weeks, the Christian guy reminds him about God and the scriptures and the cross and the resurrection and all that cool stuff. And after one of those breakfasts, this Muslim guy, instead of going to work, drives to his home. goes into his bedroom, falls to his knees, and opens his life to Christ. Shortly after that, he led his Muslim wife to Christ and then his kids to Christ. Then they joined this rocking, diverse church that uses some Willow Creek materials, and that's kind of how he knew a little bit about me. And he tells me that story, and then one of my colleagues goes, "Bill, we're late. We got to go to the airport right now." And I go, okay. And the guy says, "Hey, thanks so much, Bill, for what you've done for my life." And I say, "Hey, listen, the story that you told me has imagery in it that I don't think I'm ever going to forget. You gave me the bigger gift." I get on the airplane. I'm sitting in the back of the plane. I'm just going, that imagery is awesome. 6 or 7 people just like each other in a comfortable circle. One person who doesn't fit the circle for a number of reasons, and here's one Christ follower has radar that works, and he looks and scans, and he goes, "Phew, I might be able to cheer that guy up. I might be able to add value or add a little joy to his day." And he has that presence of mind. He turns, he makes the walk, he sticks out his head. He doesn't know what's going to happen. Takes the risk. And look where all that led. And the imagery, I couldn't get it out of my mind. And by the time the plane landed in the next city we had to go to that day, I decided in the back of the plane, I was like, I want to be a Christ follower like that guy at that party. I want to have radar that works in every social situation. I don't want to get so filled up with Christian conversation and with Christian activity and with Christian fellowship that I lose my sensitivity in social settings to who's outside the circle. I want radar that works. I want to have an awareness that the Holy Spirit can help me with. And if there's somebody outside my circle and it looks like there's an even set of odds that I could extend grace, love, kindness, or conversation to them, whatever, I want to do what that guy did. I want to see the person and really see them. I want to turn, and I want to make that walk. I just want to make that walk, and all the way going, don't know what's going to happen when I get there. This could be a total bust. Person could be hostile, negative, doesn't want anything. Could be. It also could change somebody's forever.